Rocket League is a game that is easy to get into, hard to get good at, and almost impossible to master. And for this reason, millions of people look up to the players at the very top who seem to pull off shots that no one else can. These mechanical gods are the people everyone wants to become when they think about getting better in Rocket League. But in actuality, the mechanics you need to become a better player, and even to reach the highest ranks in the game, are a lot more achievable than you think. So, here are the only mechanics that I think you need to get better in Rocket League. Shooting is pretty much the base of the game. If you know how to shoot, you can score. And if you can score, you can win. So it would make sense to put a decent amount of time into shooting skills, right? Now this doesn't just mean making sure the ball goes in the net. In the lower ranks that is fine, but as you climb through the mid tier and then into the higher ranks, you have to put in a little more effort. You have to train your shooting so you can place it into the top corners or place it far post whenever you want and with power. The higher up the ranks you go, the better everyone gets. And the better everyone gets, the harder you have to work to score against them. Yes, everyone whiffs the ball from time to time, but you cannot rely on the other team messing up in order for you to win the game. And so probably the most important thing you should be working on is learning how to shoot properly with power from anywhere on the field. The best way I recommend learning how to shoot properly is to either pick up a few ground shooting custom training packs and working through those, or an accuracy workshop map if you're able to, or just playing a lot of 1v1s. In ones, you get more time on the ball, and so you're able to set yourself up to shoot more from more areas around the field. Now, this could be from a bounce dribble, a quick counter attack, or just a stray ball. Either way, ones is going to be the best game mode to train in if you want to improve your shooting as fast as you can. Easily the most undertrained mechanic in the game, everyone knows they need to have good recovery mechanics, but no one really takes the time to practice them. And I'd say the reason for that is that it can actually be pretty difficult to train recoveries, or to actually know when you're successfully training your recoveries. The main aspect of recoveries that is important to train is power slides. Power slides are incredibly important for any time you are landing, and that can be from anything, landing from the wall, from the air, from a bump. Anytime you think your car could be landing a little bit awkwardly, power slide is the answer. Tapping power slide to make small readjustments to your car, or holding power slide for a second while your car is landing is a very easy way to maintain your momentum and to make sure you aren't spinning out or left downfield sitting still. The best way to train this is either in free play, going off the walls and testing your landings, or going into casual matches and playing recklessly. Sounds a bit strange, I know, but reckless play means you are probably going to over-rotate and make a lot of mistakes. So it forces you to recover quickly in order to get back. By putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, you force yourself to work through the flaws in your gameplay and improve them. Obviously, you do have other recovery mechanics like wave dashes and half flips and everything, but the tutorials for those are also covered on this channel. Positioning is like the game sense mechanic, if that makes sense. Like, your positioning and the way you move around the field can be seen as mechanic, as movement in general is one of the most important parts of the game, but the knowledge of where to position and how to position comes down to game sense. Now, unfortunately, game sense is something that comes with time. The more you play, the more you pick up patterns in the gameplay. The more time you put into the game, the easier it gets to read the play, the way the play is going to go, and where you should position for the play. But on positioning alone, something you can immediately do is make sure that on attack, you are close enough to help your teammates, but far enough away to back them up in case of a counter attack. This means you don't play way too far up the field in hopes the ball is just going to land in front of you, and on the other side of that, you don't play all the way back in your own half while you're attacking, because this means your teammate is going to have to make every play as a solo play, and if it goes wrong, you are left by yourself. Another thing you can implement into your gameplay immediately to improve your positioning is to keep the nose of your car facing the ball as you follow the play around the pitch. Tracking the ball with the front of your car lets you quickly react to the play and keep your momentum. If a 50-50 happens to the left side of the field and you are facing away to the right side of the field, you can't follow up the 50-50 quickly, and you give the opponent a chance to retain possession for free. Unless you are rotating away from the play, try to always stay facing the ball as it moves around the pitch in order to be faster towards the play. Often in game, you will get the ball in your half and find that you aren't really being pressured by the opponent. I know some of you will naturally want to boom the ball back down the field to them, but all that does is give away possession, which means they now have another attacking opportunity. By starting a dribble while no one is pressuring you, you are able to properly control the ball and give yourself many more options than if you were just to slam the ball back down the field. There are so many times, especially in a 2v2 match, that dribbling and maintaining possession of the ball is going to give you a much better opportunity than just shooting straight away or slamming the ball back down the field as an attempt to clear it. Dribbling gives you the option to get around one player for free if you do it correctly. And that's the difference between a 2v2 and a 2v1. And I'm sure I don't have to say it, but a 2v1 is more likely to result in a goal. Now, when it comes to actually training your flicks and dribbles, you can try a few things. If you're on PC, then obviously I would recommend a dribbling workshop map, as they are by far the easiest way to improve. Otherwise, you can go into free play and give yourself small goals. Try carrying the ball for 5 seconds, then up it to 10 seconds, then 30 seconds, then try dribbling without boost, then mix everything together and just try carry the ball for as long as you can. Now for flicks, I'd say it's pretty easy. You just have to use the free play button that lets you put the ball on top of your car. Then try out different flicks from different positions. Doesn't have to be any sort of fancy flick, just get the basics down. Diagonal flicks and side flicks will do. Then when you think you're ready, go into a ones match and try to dribble flick as much as you can. The more you try, the better you get, and the better you get, the more you can bring them into your 2s and 3s games. This one shouldn't need too much of an explanation as to why it's important, but just to cover it anyways, as you climb higher through the ranks, the game becomes more aerial based. And so you want to ensure that you're getting into the air as fast as you can to have as much impact on the play as you can. The point of the fast aerial is to get your car in the air as fast as possible. The two main areas you can measure your success by are when you are, number 1, moving towards the ball faster. This can also take an opponent out of the game if you beat them to the ball, so it works on both the offensive and the defensive side. And number 2, making the decision quickly. It's essential to be quick in your decision. The second you know you're in a good position to go for a useful aerial hit, you should go for it without any hesitation. Over time, this will become more intuitive and natural. Right now, this is what you might be doing. Jumping once, tilting backwards, and boosting up into the air. If you do this, you're going to find that you are consistently getting beat to the ball by players who are actually performing a fast aerial. Instead, you want to be already holding back on the analog stick, jumping and boosting, then letting go of the analog stick for a split second, jumping again in that split second, and then pulling back again on the analog stick, all while continuing to hold boost. It sounds a little bit complicated, but I promise you it's way easier when you do it in game. Now the reason we do it this way is because by holding back on the analog stick before you even jump, the nose of your car begins to tilt backwards immediately, instead of only starting to tilt back a split second after the first jump. This gives you the edge and gets you into the air that little bit faster. The timing of the second jump and letting go of the analog stick is something you will have to get used to, but this all comes with time. The easy way to practice this is to just go into free play and try it over and over again until you stop backflipping with that second jump and you start getting the motion smoothly. Now, I didn't want to overload you guys with 5 different tutorials all in one video, but I have covered each of these things in their own tutorial video, so I do suggest you go check those out. And if you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content. Anyway, that's all from me. I'll see you next time.